Hello, everybody, and welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sports. My name is Mark, and we have just finished watching the Bulls properly thump Cardiff in the end, unfortunately. So, yeah, I mean, a game of two halves, I think you can more or less say, in the fact that Cardiff were in it for a while in that in the game, in the first half especially, and those 20 minutes, first 20 minutes, they were well and truly in the game, but then. Yeah, Bulls just really ran away with it in the second half. I mean, just so many unanswered points. 28 unanswered points in the second half. So yeah, Cardiff really struggling to score there because Bulls' defense was also just immense in that second half as well. But essentially, just yeah, Bulls overall too good for Cardiff. Just running you through this game. Yeah, games kicked off at Loftus Versfeld. Bulls kicking off to Cardiff. No, Cardiff kicking off to Bulls. Yeah, early dominance for Cardiff. They got a penalty just in the first minute as a result of a small penalty. And Jared Evans, who's kicking tonight, was very good in terms of kicking for goal, at least. Slotted it over. And then Bebes just played a bit of chess for a while. Bulls and Cardiff, and Goosen then also slotted his own penalty over. And then Evans slotted his. And then we played a lot of midfield bashing up, basically. Rugby, very stop-start, very a lot of mishandling and knock-ons and just general breaks in play, which wasn't great to watch in terms of a neutral, but it was just basically hard hits going in the whole time. And within that, Cardiff were in control because Bulls had more of the possession in terms of that period, but Cardiff were really hitting them hard and hitting them high up in the line, and Bulls just couldn't get going. So Cardiff were more or less starting to assert their dominance, but then eventually Bulls started to get a rhythm going after the 25th minute. And you started to see gaps start to appear in that Cardiff defense slightly, and then Goosen did very well to go and manage to find a gap there, and he passed it through to Curtly Arnsel, who then passed it off to Canan Moody, who scored the first try for the Bulls in the 29th minute, which Goosen then went and converted. But then Cardiff came back into it and then got the penalty of their own, making it 9 points to Cardiff and 10 points to Bulls. So it was close still. And then right at the end of the first half, Curtly Arnsel managed to get in after, again, a brilliant piece of play from Johan Goosen. Managed to find a gap, and Curtly Arnsel just running the correct line and then managed to put the ball down. So also getting that try in the 39th minute, and Goosen also converting that. So we went into half-time at 17 points to 9. So Cardiff still very much in it, and could have been proud of that first half performance because they really did muscle up to the Bulls, and they were showing them up in a lot of areas in terms of like physicality. But Bulls just finding the gaps and just being able to attack better, because Cardiff, I think, on the attack were very, very sloppy, I think, at many times. They just couldn't really get through that Bulls defense, and that's credit to the Bulls defense as well for being so stout and etc. But yeah, the breakdowns basically in the first half were very much in the favor of Cardiff more than Bulls. Bulls managed to bring it back in the last 15 minutes, but Cardiff were really working very well around the breakdown area. But the second half started and it was just an onslaught. I mean, from Goosen to the entire back line, basically Bulls started playing a bit more expansive rugby. They started keeping the ball in hand a bit more. And choosing to do more than one pass just to the forward pod, they chose to actually go around the back, and that's when they started finding a lot of gaps in the Cardiff defense. So Goosen scored a fantastic little solo try in the 42nd minute, which he converted, and then again we had a bit of stop-start rugby for 15 minutes again. But then, as we always say when you're playing in the high felt, Lions and Bulls, you always got to worry about those last 20 minutes because that's when the high felt starts taking its toll and the altitude starts taking a toll on the opposition teams. And where the home sides really do take an advantage because, well, they're just so used to playing up at this sort of altitude, they don't get nearly as tired. And the last 20 minutes was just, as you say, there's an onslaught for the Bulls. So Norkia went over, the captain for Bulls, went over in the 59th minute. Goosen converted it. Then Moody went in for a great little try, which was kicked over by Curtly Arnsel in the 68th minute. And Smith was then on at this point, and he converted that try. And then Albert Lowe in the 76th minute, just to add insult, went and scored a try as well. And then Chris Smith also converted that try. So it makes the final score 45 points to 9 points. Cardiff well and truly beaten in that second half. They just could not match the Bulls. The energy, basically. They just had so much more energy. And Cardiff was so tired from that first half, I think, from the defensive work. They just couldn't match the Bulls. So all credit to the Bulls. They played fantastically. Kane and Moody getting the man of the match. I think it's a bit harsh on Johan Gerson as well, who was very much in with a shout for that as well. But nonetheless, a great team performance by the Bulls, really showing their class. Cardiff back to the drawing board. Whilst team's not having a great time this weekend, but yeah, I mean, a great game for the Bulls. Second half especially, a great joy for all those fans to watch. So yeah, you've been watching Forever Sports. I've been Mark. This was Bulls, who were way too good for Cardiff, essentially. But you'll be catching us more for more URC action on the channel. Be sure to go and check out all of our other videos, and tune in for some more live shows soon. So take care until then, guys.